So some of the few things I would like to first say are a lot of therapists aren't using their body properly. So whether it's just, a lot of people are sitting for too much, during the massage. Some people aren't lunging correctly. One of the things with lunging correctly, you want to make sure you're lunging with when you're lunging, bending the knee that you're using with your arm. So if I'm using my arm to do the massage part, I'm going to lean with my right one. And make sure you sit into your glute, because your glute's your power. A lot of therapists, and sometimes clients, and this can be a good test for y'all's clients as for pain relief, they don't have strength in their glutes. Well, today we're going to find out if Mary has strength in her glutes by a real quick exercise. But first, and I'll say, the other few tips are passive release techniques, active release. We'll show a little bit of that today. That way you can kind of use the client's body against them so that you can get deeper without you having to do too much work. Then some other techniques would be, making sure when you are lunging, use your core muscles, your abs, use your body. A lot of therapists tend to just use all their upper body strength. Well, for me, I can get away with that, but maybe for someone else they can't. So today we're going to go over all that. But first I want to show is I'm going to have Mary sit at the very edge of this chair. Very, very edge. Not with the cushion sliding, no. Keep coming. So this is a glute test to see how much strength she has in her glutes. Now, sometimes if it's a client and I'm testing to see if their glutes are activating properly, I might help them, get up and down from this position. So I would hold their hands and have them come up. So what I want her to do is lift her toes up. All right. Now, you want me to hold your hands? Okay. So come straight up. Uh-oh, see? Straight up. Okay. Could you feel that in the backside?
A little bit. A
little bit. So a lot of times we still try to put too much weight on the front of our knees. Now, in this specific situation, she, for clients and her, she needs to practice coming up and down and really think about her glutes. That way her brain can turn her glutes on. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all this set up. We're going to let Mary undress and get on the table, and we'll show you some techniques. All right, we're back. So a few things. I'm going to get some lotion. One technique for deeper pressure, don't use as much lotion sometimes, and then you can slide a little bit too much. So again, what I'll show you is make sure you're leaning into stuff. So that's another issue, is don't have the table too high. This is probably a good height for me, but I'm 5'11". So probably this would be the max height that Mary would have. But what I'll try to do, and also if you complain that your back's hurting because you lower the table, as you build the strength in your glutes and use them properly and engage your core, you won't have as many issues. But here we go. So what I'll do, I'll show you the kind of lean. So if I'm working on her back, you notice I'm going to put all my weight on toward because if I'm going to use my right arm, I'm leaning with my right leg, so I can even lean in more. Use your body to lean. Don't necessarily push too hard with your fingers, because then you can burn out your fingers pretty tough. But instead, just lean into your techniques. And I'm not doing any specific technique right now. I'm just kind of showing you guys the difference is now, if I was leaning with this one and I'm pushing with my right arm, I'm kind of in balance to the point where I have less pressure and momentum going forward. So make sure, try to lean with the correct leg. The next step is she's a little tender up there, but is learning passive release and active release techniques. Now, we're going to stick with just passive release today. If you want to watch some of our other videos, I'll do an active release video soon, so y'all can watch that. But let's say I'm working on her, and man, I just can't get deep enough. So one of the techniques I like to do is, like I said, use their body against them. So what you can do is I can use her arm, and let's say I bring her over here, and if our camera lady could come over here on this side, Notice how now I'm leaning. Now I can't actually lean with my left one in this position just because I'm too close to the table, but that's why using her body against it will actually still get deep enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get forearm in there, and now I can bring her arm up if I want deeper, and I can rotate it. If they have an impingement, frozen shoulder, don't do that, but as I'm sliding my way up, hitting some good trigger points, right where you feel a good tension spot. One trick, a lot of therapists will slide off of it because right when they feel it, they press. What I like to do is when I feel it, I'm going to back up a second and lean in there, and then you usually get right on it. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
I guess relatively good. She's like, yeah, it feels good.
Happy.
For the sake of his video, I'm going to say it feels good. Okay, so just like that. Now, if I wanted to, here's a version of active release. Another area a lot of therapists don't get on are on top of the shoulder blade. There's some good trigger points. But let's say, and I've worked this shoulder blade and I can't get deep enough. What I can do is think of the muscle and what that muscle does and have them activate it. So when you get into a trigger point, I'll also say, do y'all tend to put your thumb like this and just lean in? Well, you're going to hurt your thumb that way if you're leaning in. And remember, lean with your body, which makes a big difference. In this situation, I like to use my left hand, so I'll bend with my left leg. And remember, you can like grab the table, use the table sometimes. Pull down as you're pushing, or pull up as you're pushing down. You know, use the table for you. But what I like to do is if you get on a trigger point, you can ask them, does that feel tender in there? Not too much?
Yeah, feels okay.
All right, so that one's not too bad. It's not active. A little bit more in here. Yeah, ooh is usually a sign. So what I like to do is when you get on one of those, use the bottom finger as a tool. Use your palm, that hard part of your bone through here, and push with it. Now I'm not pushing harder with my thumb. I'm just leaning. Feel how much deeper that is?
Yeah.
All right, and for the sake of the video, just so y'all can kind of see, same thing on this side. I'm gonna do the same thing and then lean. All right, here's an active release. And she's like, no, I don't want to do active. All right, bring your elbow up towards me. You feel that? And down. So these are some ways we can do. And then the other I like to do is try, and I can even do the same thing here. I can come around here and push down with the top of my hand. I'm pushing more down with my right arm, so I'm leaning on my right leg. I'm not really even pushing with my left. All I'm doing with my left is just making this kind of pressure. I'm not completely flat, just a little bit of pressure and stability, and then lean in. Trying always to engage my core and lean and sit into my glutes. The other technique is you can also use your fists. Use these part of your knuckles. I like to do that. She doesn't need too much pressure there, but if I needed to, this is a follow through. Next we'll do, and I'll show you another area a lot of therapists tend to forget is up here. Get into that neck. So there's I'll put a little bit of lotion. Try not to get lotion in her hair. She has to work today. You notice I'm not necessarily sitting in a chair. I could if I needed. But this way I'm on a knee, but I can still lunge on my knee, just like that. So if you see how I put a thumb in here, a lot of therapists are going to just dig like a their thumb. They're going to burn it out. Same thing, use that blade right here. Put it on top of the thumb. And then now, I don't have to really press hard. I'm just leaning. You feel that? Yeah. And then you can grab the occipital ridge. Just don't pull on people's hair. And see how I use their body against it. A little stretch. I can slide a forearm in there. Don't be afraid to use those forearms. And just lean. I should actually see, I'm doing it incorrectly. I'm leaning with my right leg in the situation, so I'd like to lean into it with my left. See the difference when I switch legs?
Yeah.
And that's not me pressing harder, that's just me leaning. Remember, y'all gotta think smart. Don't work smart, not too hard. And then I can pull and stretch at the same time. Same goes. What I'll have her do is I'm going to cover her up. And these techniques work through the legs, they work through all this. Same thing, using their body. If you're working their hamstring out, out, you can always lift their leg and work the leg while you're moving the foot around. Just that way you're getting deeper, you're putting the muscles in different positions so that you can use your body weight and use their body against them. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to cover her up. And I'm going to show you some cool things. Face up. Go ahead and turn over. Bright light's going to get you. Yep. All right. What I did was, some good neck work too. Like I said, this helps me use my body to work the muscle better and use her body with it. I don't know if y'all have this issue. I have a lot of therapists that they work the necks, but they're like, man, my fingers start hurting if I'm pushing, So what I like to do, like I said, use their body. So, and if you do passive release, it actually feels kind of good getting them involved. Active release, maybe not too much, just because some clients will be like, well, I didn't want to have to work my entire massage. So those are more therapeutic stuff. I don't know if y'all use what I call the sandwich technique. I didn't coin that phrase, but basically that means if I'm going to do mean stuff, I try to put some nice stuff around it so that people think I'm not nice. All right, so I'm going to come in here and don't just work here. A lot of therapists will go in here, but they don't get close to the spine at all. Let's get right in there. So I have my thumb in there. This is one technique. With the thumb, like I said, if I'm pushing my left hand, that means I'm leaning with my left leg. So leaning in, I'm not going to lean too hard because the neck can be a little bit sensitive on certain people. Great for headaches. You can work the occipital ridge the same way. I'm going to wrap my arm around her head while maintaining pressure and leaning. See, that doesn't take much pressure at all, and she feels it. So I probably won't even do passive release on her if I was working on her. Or if you want to lighten the pressure up and not do a thumb, you can put these fingers in it. Same thing. I'm going to come on this side, Haley. Haley's our camera lady. And I can do the same thing with less pressure. Does that feel a little easier? Yeah, and this is for therapeutic techniques. It's not for specific relaxation, obviously. If I did want it for relaxation, I can just, do that. Don't be afraid. Use your knuckles if you want to get in there. See how we just kind of run knuckles up there. Work the neck and the back side. Work it in the front side a little bit. If you need to, or you have training in it, we won't do a video yet on this, but we will, is working the SCM muscles. And lastly, I do want to show you also a little bit of pectoral muscle work, because I notice a lot of therapists don't tend to work on the pecs, and that can be really bad, because if they're rotating forward a lot, in the society we live in, it's going to mess up your shoulders. So if I work all back here and don't release the tension in the chest, then it's just going to go right back to where it was. Our goal as therapists is to get the pain gone as long as we can, and then teaching them some strengthening exercises on their back so that they pull their shoulders back. And if you want to see some of those are on some of our other videos. Just look up corrective exercises. So we're going to put our arm up here. For the first thing, I'm going to wrap my hand under her elbow. Put her hand, I do this a lot smoother in the massage, but put her hand, let it hang. You know, if I was like a female therapist, you know, I try not to let them grip me. You know, definitely, you know, just to avoid any thoughts or anything for male clients. We just kind of let them hang. I'm going to put them by my side. You see right there. And then now I can take a step back. And one thing I also want to say is if you're going to work on pecs, which you should, and usually 99% of clients will let you if you just tell them why you're working it, is I'm going to get in here, and I can drape a little bit different if I want, depending on their comfort level and everything. But I like to get my fists like right under the collarbone like this. So she's already feeling it. I'm not even doing anything yet. And just lean back and pull. You feel that already, don't you?
Yeah.
If I want a deeper pressure, I don't have to push harder. I just lean back more. Like I said, use their body. All right. Now, I also recommend getting into you have the tendon that runs through here. We get the pec major, all that stuff up here. Make sure you get under the collarbone a little bit. I'm not going to do that to her right now, but it's really good. You can do the same thing. If I was pressing, I would be normally pressing harder, but I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to do that to her right now. You can do the same thing with palm here. If they need, you can. If it's too much the other way, you can use a palm. You know, I try not to put too much pressure on the joint, but you can use a palm right in here and do the same thing. Remember, this would be bad if I'm just leaning like this. It's going to hurt your back. You need to have your core engaged, leaning down. You can actually, a lot of people think if you use your elbow, it's going to be harder pressure. No, that just covers a little bit more area. So you can do that on the major. Give a little bit of a stretch, guide it down. Don't just jerk it down, because some people are real tight and their shoulder joints can be injured, so we don't want to push too hard and too quick. And the other, make sure you get into the pec minor. That's the tendon, so we're going to go under the tendon. I'm not going to do this to her today, but you'd basically lean in and go under the tendon. So, and that's where you'd feel it. I did say that was the last, but I do want to show one more quick thing. It's some good neck stretches, and you can also do some pin-in stretches, which I'll show you right now. So come on over here. That side works. That's good. She's like, where are you going? We don't do retakes, so they don't tend to know what I'm going to do in the massage. Haley's doing a great job at recording me, as long as she didn't accidentally stop this video.
20 minutes going strong.
Oh, good. Okay, so last thing is, this is our longest video. Should have probably already asked you this, but in the beginning of the video, please subscribe. If you've made it this far, then I really appreciate that, but a lot of people don't make it this far in a video. So, I'm going to do is lean. I'm putting her, what I like, a lot of therapists will do, is they put them on their arm like this and start stretching them. Well, what I like to do is turn their head this way so we can get some anterior scalene in there. Push down on their collarbone. You feel it more? Mm-hmm. Just like that. If I wanted to pin and stretch, I'd put my thumb into these trigger points in the traps and lean and pull. And we can do a little bit of traction. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please comment below, hit a like, and please subscribe. share it with your friends. Help us, our small business, get our name out. Thanks again. Have a great day.